Howdy, my noble friend Sir Kagababu is back with World of Tanks and Partners. Today I am playing the T34 100 Tier 7 Czechoslovakian medium tank. Map is Himmelsdorf and game mode is standard. This game is a special game because well, it doesn't really showcase mega performance or out of this world damage, but what it does highlight is that there is a breath of fresh air sometimes to be had in the random battles when people you don't know end up helping you out, and together with them one can win games which are basically lost. So this is such a game, and we are going to see who and how helps us and how we, well, spoiler alert, we end up winning the game. But how we do go about doing it, there is another question. Now our positioning game, tank positioning is not really fantastic. Top tier heavy, the T29, is, instead of going to the tank alley over where the AMX M445 is, he is coming to the hill, and I highlight to him that please go there, and but you guys would see that well, T29 sucks so much that cannot be described. And immediately, oh by the way, check this out, this new archway approach, and I fire at the Skoda T40, but it doesn't hit because this tank does not have much gun depression. It's nothing to highlight at all, and I am struggling against the Cromwell B because I cannot depress my gun. And this is the archway I was talking about. Now vehicles can go from there, and immediately we see that enemies have invested heavily on the hill, and our hero, not T29, is getting his rear end handed to him by the enemy. And here I decide to retreat, go to the second firing line, and get in a defensive position to make a last stand before the enemy overruns me. However, enemy tier 7 friendly Swedish tank destroyer IKVB is holding on courageously, and enemies one by one are poking, and now we see a friendly Type 58 appears, and I aim carefully and fire one into the Super Hellcat. IKV-90B finishes off the Skoda, and Type 58 joins in the action. This is where I should highlight the Type 58 driver. He is none other than Arthur 2704, and he is going to be our awesomeness partner, and together with him we are going to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. We put one into the T43. Arthur moves up and puts one in it as well, keeping the T43 track, and we finish him off with the help of a fire, and the Soviet medium tank T43 goes down. Now all that remains on the hill is E25, P43, and the Super Hellcat. And me and Type 58, driven by Arthur, are just in a defensive position trying to hold our line. And look at the tank alley. IKV on low health moved into the tank alley trying to support the AMX M445. And by the way, I was thanking the Arthur because he came at the right time, and together with him we defended the hill. He asked for help, I press affirmative, and together we decide to take the fight to them because both of us have seen that the enemy E25 is no longer on the hill, and which means that 2 of the enemies can be taken out by us, or so we thought. Well, let's see. And P43 Tur appears. He puts one into Arthur puts one into him, and I take a hit from the P43, put one in him, return, and also the enemy Hellcat appears out of nowhere. He bounces a shot onto me, and I finish off the P43, and I in turn finish off the Hellcat, and that is how we have captured or cleared the hill. He thanked me, and now we move downward, and I signal to the Studer Ramil that I am going to help him. Enemy has got all the advantages. They've got top tier KV3 in a healthy state. I don't know his hit points. They've got a heavily armored SMV 56 and a deadly E25. Both all of those tanks top tier and are on good health as well. So we are down 1080 hit points, and I have loaded up some heat ammunition for the heavily armored targets we are going to meet. Arthur and I are defending the base, waiting for the enemy to appear in front of us, hopefully at any moment. And Studer Ramil is looking at this line. On low health, but I'm glad he's there. I'm looking at this, and KV3 appears, and I snapshot him. He tries to fire at me, but couldn't aim properly, so his shot missed me. Fantastic. Now I didn't want to approach the heavily armored target, and Studer Ramil claps the hell out of him, and KV3 goes down. What a fantastic mega shot he fired into the KV3. KV3 goes down, only 2 enemies remain. SMV 56 is trying to wiggle himself, and I am trying to aim a shot onto him. I fire, and SMV snaps a shot into me, doing 216 damage, and there we spot E25 pouncing on the Studer Ramil. In the enemy, E25 finishes off our tier 7 German TD, and it's 2-on-2 partners. Now both Arthur, Type 58 and I are going to go against the E25 because we suspect that he would be approaching from the A0 line. So we are trying to gang up 2-on-1, and I fire one into him. He puts one into me, I back up, and Arthur comes out and finishes off the E25. We moved forward swiftly, trying to miss the shot, and I did manage to miss a shot from the SMV CC56. Now I am going to move forward from this direction, and I indicate to Arthur that he should approach from the right side so that we can surround the SMV in a pincer movement, and SMV is facing me, and I'm just holding my ground, and SMV, sensing that he is about to be surrounded, decide to push onto me. I put a swift round into him. SMV returns, but he misses because he was on the move, and I knew I would be reloaded before him, and I finish him off. What a fantastic way to win a game in this tier 7 Czechoslovakian medium tank, partners. But instead of going to the post game stats, I've got another gameplay which we are going to look at quickly, and then we would look at the post game stats of both games. So on to another game, partners. Alright, here we are at Haluf map. We are again top tier, and we are approaching the heavy corner, and I am going to lay an ambush for any unsuspecting enemy who is going to appear in front of me. Let's see who the winner is. And enemy VK3001P appears, and I put a round on him, but sadly we bounce a shot on from his turret. That turret is surprisingly sturdy, I must say. I was expecting to go through him. I put a round into the Skoda T25, but enemy C44 appears out of nowhere, puts a fantastic swift round into me, doing a lot of damage. And I, by the way, put a good round into the VK3001P. I was also trying to track him, but sadly we couldn't manage to do that. And I have to highlight that the gun depression is not much. We put one round into the KV2 and he puts a 311 shot, i.e. using the long gun. He is 107mm gun, and he puts a round into me on the move. That is just wrong. I mean, I felt as safe as a baby in a mother's womb by staying in front of a moving KV2, but RNG was on his side. He had sacrificed a lot of dissidents in Stalin's name, so Stalin was on his side, therefore guiding his shot into me. Anyways, salty about it I am. And I put, well, look at that. Stalin again deviated my shell away from the back of the KV2, and I am going to blame my incompetence on Stalin. And here you see me wedging my tank up in order to increase my gun depression, and we through some terrain gymnastics managed to put 2 rounds into the C44, enhancing our gun depression, so that we end up surprising the C44 fantastically. Hero VK4503 moves up, finishes off the C44, and there another enemy tier 6 heavy is moving, crossing the area. I fire a shot, totally miss it. It was my fault. I can't even blame Stalin this time, because it was just bad aiming. No defense I have. And there you saw VK went down over there on the left side, and our hero KV2 is approaching the enemy T150. He is about to fire on the T150, but as soon as he fires, he would be ganged up on by the KV2 and the T150. KV2 signals me for help, and I move in, and we are going to flank the aggressors and really put a hurt on them. We put 1 round into the back of the KV2, put 2 round into it, and KV2 is backing up, trying to put a round into us, and we carefully managed to sneak a 3rd round into the KV2, finishing him off. And we are about to put 1 round, another one into the T150. T150 is totally looking at us, leaving KV2 friendly, that is open to fire a round onto him. KV2 finishes off the T150, and we salvage the situation, both of us coming on top of the enemy. It was a turbo game, one-sided really, 13-1, 14 basically. And now the team is going to finish off the RT and end the game. For a fantastic game it was. Well, not really over the top, but I wanted to highlight the strengths as far as the alpha and nimbleness of this tank is concerned, but also the lack of gun depression and how awkward that can be, right? So RT is going to be killed. And now, partners, let's look at the post-game stats of both our epic games we just highlighted. Let's go. Alright, partners, in the Himmelsdorf game we secured a fantastic victory, netting us 40,000 credits, 5,835 experience, but remember I applied the 3 times bonus on it as well, but and ended up doing some mission as well, so got 25 bonds. It was a first class mastery badge. We ended up damaging a lot of enemies, and it was basically the positioning and the way we played it which mattered, not the end tally. So we ended up getting 2573 damage, 4 kills with 1111 base experience. What a fantastic round figure that is. I mean, I guess stars really aligned to provide us with a fantastic symmetrical numbering victory, I would say. Partners, we fired 14, connected 12 and penetrated 12. So I guess aiming was on point in that game. Ended up not losing credits and made a bit of profit as well. And that was the Himmelsdorf game. Then we move on to the Haluf game. We did quite a bit of damage to the enemy KV2, ended up putting 4 rounds into him, 2 into the C44, then 1 round each into the VK T150 and Skoda T25, netting us 4547 experience. Base experience was 866, damage was 1986, and shots fired were 12, 10 were direct hits, penetrations were 9. So there you have it, partners. The Skoda T34 100, it is a fantastic tank, and it can hit hard, and I truly like this tank very much. And also since the new patch came out just today, you guys must be enjoying the free 6th sense. I mean, recruiting new crews has never been easier, because the most important skill one has to have is the 6th sense, which is prevalent on all crews, whether they be 75% trained, 50% trained, or gold trained. All crews, existing and new ones, would have 6th sense. Fantastic. So I am thinking that I am not going to sell any more tanks, because previously I used to do that because I didn't have properly trained crews for them. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed 2 games of today, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. And by the way, I ended up having a fantastic conversation with Type 58 driver Arthur, and it was lovely. Really, I approve. Anyways, I hope to see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, take care and goodbye, my noble friends.